Hello, greetings, and welcome back to the BFC, where we go into the trenches of the trading world and get us some DD from the source. Man, oh man, what an exciting couple weeks it's been. The big boards are brewing. Bitcoin has been crushing it. We're going to talk about that. And full-grown adults are losing their shit on social media.
Donald J. Trump is now president of the United States. President Obama.
My goodness, people. My goodness. I mean, I'm not going to lie. The post-election meltdowns have been a source of free entertainment. So, hey, whether you're shaving your head or divorcing your family, or actually maybe even enjoying the outcome, let's ground ourselves a little bit, people. I had to use something from 2016 because Green Shirt Girl was like the original. That was like an original meltdown. But no, guys, we have tons of opportunity heading our way. We are on the cusp of a couple breakouts that I think are going to put a lot of money in our pockets. I truly believe that. That's why I'm covering these stocks. Hey, we don't win them all, but we have some really good stocks that we've been covering, and I'm not gonna let up here. But today we're going to talk about those. We're also going to talk about some BFC underperformers, as well as a couple that I think are poised for a Q1 breakout in 2025. So, okay. Let's talk about the election and how it will impact the markets. The truth is, no matter who won, certain industries would thrive with the respective candidates. So with that being said, we do have a lot to look forward to. But first things first, with Donald Trump's return to the presidency, sectors likely to thrive include, energy, defense, finance, and domestic manufacturing. His administration's pro-fossil fuel stance promises favorable conditions for oil, gas, and coal, reducing environmental restrictions and promoting domestic productions. We've seen this before. And who he's appointing as the EPA administrator is none other than Lee Zeldin. All right. Now, Lee almost dethroned New York Governor Kathy Hochul up here. It was way closer than she would have liked. That's just the truth. And, I usually don't talk politics, but this is the first show after the election. So we got to talk about how this is going to impact our trading, impact our investments. And hey, I'm not going to be 100% correct, but these are just my insights. Share your thoughts in the comment section about how you feel things are going to go. I'm going to just keep going here, but this is clearly an indicator that they're going to focus on domestic energy production. So, let's get into this. This was a release from President Trump talking about Lee Zeldin. I have known Lee Zeldin for a long time and have watched him handle brilliant, some extremely difficult and complex situations. That's my Trump impression. That's the best I could do. I'm very proud to have him in the Trump administration, where he will prove to be a great contributor. So, the EPA and domestic oil production, that's going to be a focus, obviously. And what's next? Hey, yeah, the defense sector. The defense sector. I'm excited about this one. I think this is going to be a top priority for the Trump administration and its position for growth. Now, is this going to help Cyberlux? Maybe, maybe not. I think it will. I think this is a good thing for Cyberlux, but we'll find out. So, and then you have finance. Yeah, and by the way, you'll find out that I've been having a lot of fun with Grok on the Twitter, on the X. It's been fun. I've been playing with that thing all week, and I've wait till you see the next one. Oh no, there's two more. I think you're gonna like what I did here. Have I been entertaining myself? Absolutely, 100%. But Trump's pushing for deregulation and potential corporate tax cuts that can lead to increased bank profitability through reduced compliance costs and greater lending flexibility. I want to see personally how it's going to affect the housing market. And if they're going to hand out mortgages like hotcakes on a Sunday morning, is that going to happen? I don't know. But and are we going to see a correction in property values? Because they have been skyrocketing. They're up high, so that is what it is. And of course, we got manufacturing and technology. It's not a garbage truck, but he has the hard hat on. These sectors may also gain from Trump's America's First policies, which focus on reshoring production and reducing reliance on imports. Now, we could debate all day long, like what's going to happen, regarding the tariffs. Some think it's going to be a positive thing for us. Some think the cost is going to be put onto the consumer. I think there's, in my research, I think there's going to be positives, and I do think there's a little truth to both. But I'm not going to get into that. We're going to see how it plays out. But I also think tech companies involved in semiconductor manufacturing are going to be well positioned. As his administration could offer incentives for domestic chip production. And you guys, we look how we're going to compete with Taiwan. Taiwan, that's the hub. If I'm correct, it's Taiwan. Taiwan owns the chip production. So it'd be nice if we could get a slice of the pie there. It really, really would. And I got to laugh, though, because what did he just announce? He just announced that he is pleased to announce that the great Elon Musk, working in conjunction with American patriot Vivek Ramaswamy, will lead the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Together, these two wonderful Americans will pave the way for my administration to dismantle government bureaucracy / excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies, essential to the Save America movement. Now, I gotta laugh. Because ever since the election, crypto markets are experiencing a surge fueled by institutional interest in prospects for regulatory clarity, which, honestly, it may be supported by Trump's deregulated financial approach. And, we're seeing more of that as news comes out. Yeah, he has a couple meetings with some big names in crypto. So this is very exciting. And so, it's just one of those things. I'm excited about it. And, but this could foster growth in the digital finance, adding momentum to crypto's upward trend. I think that's going to happen. I also put in, in the chat, I did an article on X. So check it out. If you haven't read it, share the content. If you see me throw out an article, I'm loving the article feature. I'm going to be doing that more often. I really, I like doing it like that. I mean, I like sticking in my live shows every week, and yes, I've had a couple of weeks off, but it's been nice to do the articles. I've really enjoyed it. So, but in regards to crypto, Bitcoin, it was up to 92, almost 93,000. It did find support levels at 55,000. That's where I saw some nice support. But recently it used 69K as a launch pad, and it's been on a tear ever since. I was watching a breakdown of it. It does seem like the bull runs tend to get a little bit smaller percentage wise, but there's no doubt that this is an upward trend. And in the article actually that I wrote, I talk about, is it going to be a pump, or is this a pump, or is this an expected continued bull run long term? And I think you can make the case for both. Would I be purchasing it right now? No, I'm going to let it cool off a little bit. I've learned my lesson from chasing. I do it from time to time, don't we all? And then you have Doge. Yeah, I'm loving this grok photo, by the way. Doge is currently at around, I think, 39 cents, but it had strong support at 13, 14 cents, and more recently at 19 and 20 cents. So the big question is now, will Doge hold above 40 cents? And where will the next consolidation be? So I don't know. If we could keep up the momentum, if we have a nice consolidation, we may see 50 cents be the next natural stop. But, the market's going to do what they do. That's just it. And then we got the Shiba Inu, can I say the redheaded stepchild of the big cryptos? But, it's sitting at quad 2.8, if that's correct. But it had support at quad 16 to 18 in that range. And it was, there was support forming in the mid 2s, 2.4 in the 2.4 range, if I'm correct. So, breaking past 3, chunking one number at a time. Can this reach a penny? I think, anything could happen. Look at the cap on Bitcoin. And I'm not comparing SHIB to Bitcoin. We have to talk about there's different supply issues, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, no. So these are my thoughts. These are my thoughts on sort of where we're at in regards to, in the presidential election, how things could play out. And it's just going to take some time. And so let's keep going here. I want to talk about here. Now, this one has been absolutely exciting. And so, you know what? Our special guest today is supposed to be Chris Giordano. So I hope he gets his ass on. I know he's having some technical difficulties, And it happened last time he was trying to get on. So, Chris, if you are listening, I could see you're connected on my end, but you got to get that audio approved, man. Get the audio and visual approved. I don't know. Sometimes there's these blocks on Chrome. I don't know why that happens like that, but it is what it is. All right. So most recently, he put out a tweet, 90% home on the independent valuation analysis of Goliath motion pictures acquired in 2023. After discussion with the valuation consultant this AM, it was determined that the acquisition will add over $10 million to our B sheet for 2024. 8K will be filed with legal opinion. So, I mean, that is huge. And we'll talk about the chart in a second. But we were on this one. I mean, this thing was down in trip 5, trip 6. It really recently saw a surge to 30, but I'll get it to that in a second. And so AHRO, here it is. Valuation analysis is yielding a tremendous upside surprise for AHRO. They utilize 3 standards to get out a true representation of the value of this massive library we bought. They all point much higher value than we anticipated. Our balance sheet will be going on steroids. That is exciting. As a shareholder, that's what you want to hear. And he goes on. This was from the 4th. Revenue, including a receivable for third quarter, were up approximately 4x over second quarter. Verifiable numbers will be reported in our upcoming 10Q. There it is. Verifiable numbers will be reported in our upcoming 10Q. This thing is way under the radar still. There's been a lot of time for profit taking, but I mean, like this thing, I'll talk about the buy zone and why I think it is the way it is. But October numbers will be reviewed and will be reported after we file the third quarter 10Q first. Stocks to buy, stocks OTT. All right, let's keep going. Let's look at the chart. I mean, this was the load zone we called there. It was in the 7 range. And I love my trip 7s. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know. Maybe 7s are lucky. That's how I'm feeling. 7s are lucky. But we had that load zone. We topped out, at 3. There were multiple days where we had closed at 52-week highs. That's great. We have a little bit of a pullback now. I would have loved to see it really settle in here. It's hard to see my lines a little bit, but I would have liked to see the 22 as support. That's what I wanted to see. Secondary to that, I would have liked to see 2. Didn't happen. Where am I looking now? I'm looking at 15. But you know what? If 18 could hold and we get a little bit more buying pressure, a little more volume, I think that this chart's just the beginning. I think it's going to be a beauty. And I do think it's our next copper runner. I think it's going to be definitely something that I'm very, very glad that we caught here at the BFC. So, and let's go to the chat. Let's see. What are you guys doing? What are you doing? Who is with us? All right, Dwayne. How you doing, Dwayne? I know what you want me to talk about. He wants me to talk about CYBL. He wants me to talk about IGPK. I actually gave him a shout earlier, but I missed. Yeah, we missed each other. We couldn't connect. John Don, great to see you. Jesus Hernandez, Bella, Jazz, always good to have you. Michael Singleton, how you doing? Great Discord member. He contributes the comedy to our Discord. So thanks for posting all those nice light moments. We appreciate it. Older Wiser Games, Brian, how you guys doing? Great to have you. So yeah, no, this is one that I am absolutely excited about. How many of you are in AHRO? If you're in AHRO, then let me know if you're bullish. I'll tell you I'm bullish, and I'll be looking to add my position in. So that's that. All right, let's move on to the next. This one we called about a month and a half or 2 ago. This is a cannabis play. And listen, I know, like, I'll be honest with you, like, cannabis plays aren't always my favorite. Excuse me. Yes, got to drink out of the BFC mug. The good stuff. Good stuff. Got the lemon water going today. No special treats. It's Wednesday. Got to behave. But no, it's this is one of the cannabis plays I think is going to go on a tear in 2025. leading up to 2025 and the first quarter, because the the operation is massive. It's massive. They've been posting stuff. They're very active on their X account. So make sure you give at Medcana a follow. Let's take a look at one of their most recent pieces of news. This is great. This was on Halloween, October 31st. SFWJ is executing an LOI with a cannabis manufacturing company in New Jersey in the coming days. The company currently has revenues of $100,000 monthly that will grow steadily over the coming months to $400,000 per month. In January 2025, their processing limit of $1,000 per month will be lifted, allowing them unlimited processing. This is very big for a cannabis company, by the way. This is one of the many revenue drivers that will be kicking over in the coming months. So this is great news. An acquisition in the works, and already the divisions that they have going on, it's beyond awesome. It's beyond awesome what they have going on. So I'm excited. Actually, the CEO was on the show. Gabriel Diaz was on the show. And I'll tell you right now, he's a solid CEO. So, but he's going to join us next week. I talked to him. I wanted to get him on today, but the schedules didn't align, but he's going to be joining us. Oh, yes. And John Don says this, back to the other one, beyond bullish. Damn right. That's how I feel. But SFWJ, McKenna did put this out. Would like to share some more photos from the recent planting of our first crop. This crop is already sold. Once harvested, it will be shipped to the buyer. More updates to come. And listen, I want you guys to understand, this is important. They already have this product sold. It's already spoken for. This is just a 12th of what they plan on putting out there. Now, I do want you to know, and if you follow them, you could look through and you could see the posts. The cool thing is that now they have a deal in Australia, and Australia is the way to get into the European market as well. So this is global. This is a big deal, and this isn't just going to be some pot shop on the corner of your street or whatever. This is it. This is a massive production, and it's based out of Colombia, and they do. And this is another question: will Trump go green? Will he deregulate? Because that could have a flood of revenue for the government. So, will they? And I asked the CEO this. I asked Gabe right out, will you be looking to export to the United States from Colombia? Then we could debate like, well, if we're going to grow it here, then we could just why go we go domestic. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think that as for Colombia, they're going to capitalize on it because of the new regulations. So they plan on being the biggest exporter of cannabis in Colombia. He talked about the weather. He talked about how all the stars are aligning and it's perfect for the business. This is good news for us. So those of us invested, I do have 1 million shares of SFWJ. Let's take a look at the next a reminder that I want you to remind you guys about this, that they eliminated all convertible debt by the end of the third quarter. That's what they did. It is done. It's gone. They eliminated $500,000 of convertible debt. All right. After being issued the preferred shares, the debt holders agreed to a 6-month lockup agreement. And I did ask him, after that 6 months is up, can they renegotiate for an additional 6 months or 3 months or whatever it is? And that is on the table. So this is my cannabis pick, the BFC cannabis pick for 2025. I don't know. I might buy more. I don't know. But let's look at the chart. It's a standard 3-month chart. Low float. It looks boring as hell. And I'll tell you right now, these low floats are boring until they're not. All right. It's just, it's the truth. I'm laughing at Jamie's comment here. Just looking at this makes me want to open up a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos. Well, yeah, and I know what slide he was talking about, but yeah, I agree. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's great. But listen, right here, this is where we had some action going on here. There was purchasing, it's consolidated. We've had some dips to one. Hell, these low floats to me, they're slappable, but it's hard just to bid sit all day long because people don't like to dump them in there. They really don't. And so I don't know. I like this. If you could get 1s, 2s, 3s, I think this is poised to go on a nice tear. I'd like to see this stock in the next couple months, 3-4 months, at about 25 to 30 cents. And I think with the right catalyst, and I think with the right balance sheet, and I think with the right numbers coming in from the acquisition, I think this could prove to be a heavy hitter in the cannabis industry. And this share structure is nice. It's not a super low float. It trades like a low float. It does. So keep your eye on that one. And no, that's an exciting one. Oh, you hear Millie? Somebody's here. Somebody's home. I don't know who it is, but somebody's home. Well, it should be my wife and child that's home. If somebody else is home that's not that, then we have problems. I'm compromised. By the way, I hope you guys are having a great day. I really do. It's been, 3 weeks since we've done a show. So happy quarter 4, and we're gearing up to the end of the year. It's going to be crazy stuff. So exciting. Lots of stuff is lining up. So what should we talk about next? Yeah, I know what we'll talk about. You know what we should talk about? I actually before I go any further, I want to give a shout out to and this is pretty cool. My buddy gave me this sauce. It's called RJ's wing sauce. Now I've had it. I'm about to do some damage with some wings this Friday for the Mike Tyson fight. That is going to be exciting. And so yeah, I'm going to be throwing a bunch of wings down. I got my beef tallow coming. I'm going to do it right. But it's all natural ingredients. I plan on having the owner of this company on just so we could talk wings. We'll make a wing night out of it, I think. But yeah, RJ's Gourmet. And so I'm going to be covering more on this. We're going to be covering more hot sauces. And, I'm thinking about what Jamie says. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. It says made with real butter, great on everything. Maybe we could dip some Cool Ranch Doritos in it. After some green, that's what some people would do. You could mix and match whatever you want to do. That's it. You could do whatever you want to do, right? There's no rules. But yeah, I look forward to trying this one specifically on the wings, but I have had the sauce. It's very good. And so, yeah, I'm going on a hot sauce rant. I am, I do that from time to time. And hot sauce party. What, Jordan, that's right. Yeah. And I'm a huge barbell fan, by the way. Huge barbell fan. This sauce is up there. Like it's in my top 5. Straight up, it's in my top 5. So I'm excited to try it my way, doing some wings with the beef tallow, which I'm excited about. So yeah, hot sauce party. Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, we are gonna go. We're gonna do our wing thing again in December. I'm pretty excited about that. Very, very excited about it. It's always a good time. Somehow we ended up at the beer store and we bought a lot of beer. We had a great time. That was an awesome time. So yes, we gotta make a date. So all right, let's keep this thing going. What do we got next on the radar? We have oh boy, Drcr. Well, listen, I think that this thing is going to be absolutely massive. If you look at the numbers, from last year, putting up 128 million in revenue, sitting in millions of profit, that is huge. They're not loaded with convertible debt. This is going to be a clean deal, and we're excited to see what happens with SGN and Drcr. I think that there's a lot in play here that is that's going to be just unbelievable. But why do I feel that way? Yes, yeah, talking about the wings. Oh, John Don. Yeah. Well, let's see, we're going on this. A lot of beer was bought. Yeah, a lot of beer was bought. A lot of beer was consumed. And by the way, before I finish with Drcr, I'm going to finish Drcr, but I think we're gonna get Chris Giordano from HRO. And I know you guys want HRO, but I gotta talk Drcr first. Swifty, graduation day right around the corner. Goodbye, OTC. Hello, NYSE. It's gonna be amazing. So I'm excited. So why do I feel this way? Well, just recently, the official launch of Swifty Sports IE brings a new era in sports betting to Ireland. Check out our latest press release. This is big news. This is good stuff. Swifty Global is thrilled to announce the official launch of Swifty Sports IE, now fully available to users across Ireland as of November 12th, 2024. This milestone brings Swifty's state-of-the-art sportsbook and online casino services to the Irish market. Since the legalization of online sports betting in Ireland in 2015, the segment has rapidly expanded, becoming a dominant force in the country's online gambling industry, now accounting for 41% of the market. it stands as the most popular form of iGaming. Irish gamblers are among the biggest spenders in Europe, with the online gambling market projected to reach a 1.24 billion in 2024. This growth underscores the significance of the segment and its potential for continued expansion. The rapid rise of online sports betting has been driven by key factors, including improved internet connectivity, increased mobile usage, and the growing popularity of sports and esports betting across Ireland. All right, just two more things here I want to share with you guys. One indicator that I think this is going to be a good share exchange is because of signing days 1-4-48 reverse split. I think this is clearly indicative of how things are going to play out. And I think if you're a Drcr shareholder, if you've been investing in this beautiful low float and this beautiful company that has been growing, you are getting jazzed up, almost so excited you just can't contain yourself. That's just the truth. I'm excited. I made my, we called it the bottom at 3 cents here. I didn't buy it at 3 cents. I just bought it at 15. I always, before we had the downtrend, I loved 18 cents. So I said to myself, why wouldn't I buy it at 15? So for those of you, did anybody get that 3.5 mark, that 3.45 mark or whatever when we called it? That was a good one. And so, I wish I would have loaded into that one a little bit more, but I'm sticking to my plans. Sometimes I don't, but whatever, sometimes that bites us in the ass, and we learn on a daily basis, but we have our wins too. So you got to just celebrate the wins. So that's pretty exciting. All right. And then they talk about the binding term sheet. This is everything that we need here. Just as a way, this is a formality. So, talk goes on that, there's no guarantee that this is going to happen, but the truth is they're doing everything that they need to get this deal up and moving. So, let's look at the chart. Like I was telling you guys before, we have 345. We had that mark that we called, and man, I'll tell you, that thing went on a tear up to 30 cents. And so right now, and I had this resistance, and here we are right at that resistance. We've been really consolidating there. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think, I don't know. This was a good call on the BFC. Very good call. And so people got their profit, and, we broke through that resistance, and I love to see a resistance become a support. That's a big deal. So, but that's how I feel about DRCR. And so I think I'm going to try to go to Chris Giordano now, but yeah, real quick, DRCR, crazy bullish, crazy bullish. I'm excited, completely excited. I'm jazzed up. I'm revved up. I'm ready to go. You should be excited. I hope you guys are taking advantage of these, but this is not financial advice. All right, I'm going to switch over. I'm going to try and bring Chris Giordano in. Chris, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Okay. I somehow got through that technical glitch. Okay. It's not my thing. Okay. But I was able to figure out through the usage, okay, of, Google, okay, itself, okay, how to get the site settings to work on my phone, let alone everybody else's, okay, that it pointed to, okay. So I have an old S21 Plus. I wear things down to the bone, okay, and it was giving me information on the Android, Samsung S23, okay, and it just wasn't populating correctly. Anyhow, good to be here, guys. Good to be here.
I got to talk to you about this $10 million valuation. I want more. Come on, give me what you can get.
Oh, no. Oh, well, yeah. Okay. So I got the letter today. It's in draft form. Okay. We're going to review tomorrow. I believe, okay, that we'll have an 8K out next week. What a huge upside surprise on that. I'll reinstate that, okay, as many times as I can before the 8K is released. Whether or not, I think I may do, okay, we're very penurious with capital here because it's tight, right? Okay. We're making money. Okay, but money needs to be reinvested. So do I want to spend $500, $600, $700, $800? Do I file an 8K or do I do a PR in conjunction with the 8K? Because on the heels of that PR, okay, or on the heels of an 8K, let's say, if we didn't do a PR, what we're going to come back with, in just a matter of days, are the numbers, okay, for October, okay, which in November, okay, we just got a $30,000 upside surprise there too. Okay. So, everything is moving in the right direction. I think we're going to be profitable in fourth quarter. It looks that way. We're going to pay down some debt with that excess cash. And, I couldn't be more elated, okay, with the value that we're going to get, because let's just put it this way. I won't put the number out there tonight, but I'll say it's almost 3 times as much as what we paid for the library. So if I seem dark, okay, I'm in the car because it just got loud in the restaurant. Okay. And those guys, okay, are kind enough, okay, to allow me to do this call as late as I am. Okay. But, so yeah. Okay. Eric, why don't you just pepper me with questions so this way I can be concise, okay, with the audience and take some questions if it's possible.
Yeah, guys, put your questions in here right now for Chris. Let's make his time worth it. I know you had another meeting, and so he's literally like trying to get this one into, which
yeah, it's actually okay with Inventel, okay, and the people that represent Tommy DeVito. Okay, so
well, I do want to ask you, and this affected some of our shareholders, you know, that we were supposed to have, and I'll show you guys, we were supposed to have the BFC Live from Atlantic City December 6th, but it did get postponed. It got moved to February. That's what we're looking at now. Do you have the exact date of that fight?
I'll have the date. I'll have the date actually on Friday, Eric. You know, sorry about that, guys. Okay, this never happens. Okay, Lewis and I have done 87 of these things, and we never had the unfortunate circumstance where 2 fighters, you know, headliners, okay, get hurt within 2 days of one another training, right? Okay, it's just a bizarre thing. When you lose your 2 headliners, and you can't replace him, okay, inside 3.5, 4 weeks, you know, okay, it's very difficult to get a fighter ready, okay, for another fighter. And not that it can't happen, but, you know, Lou he enjoys perfection, okay, and it's just the way he handles events, okay. So at this point, you know, I sent that disappointing voicemail out to Eric a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, okay, and, you know, it was a real bummer, okay, but, yeah, I would love to meet with whoever can make it out there, okay, in February. I'll have that date tightened up, okay, tomorrow. But, and I do believe by that time we'll be celebrating a lot of different things. It's really starting to come together. Okay. And, you know, there are the interesting thing, okay, about this asset acquisition that we're about to make. Okay. We went to a licensing agreement, originally purchased the library. I was an early investor in that library, and I had a lot of faith, okay, in the team that was there. It was a small team, but a very, very well experienced team, okay, that had let's say a platform, you know, the rudiments, okay, of what could be a substantial play in the broadcasting arena, right, over a period of time. So, you know, we bought it, and at this point, the accountant, okay, wanted to carry it as an intangible asset, and didn't want to put it on the left side of the balance sheet. Okay, unfortunately, okay, up until the point that we got an evaluation done on it, an independent valuation, and it's been done up and down. When you look at it on the 8K, it's probably about 30 pages long. Okay, it's done highly professionally, and at this point, you know, beyond the fact that it's going to boost our balance sheet by a huge number, it's going to allow us to do something that normally we wouldn't be in a position to do, because without that asset on the balance sheet, we'd probably show negative shareholder equity, right? But now I could walk into the let's say First Bank, or I could walk into an aggressive bank, okay, let's say like TD Bank, okay, and say, hey, this is my balance sheet. I got 15. Oh, I already said the number. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, but anyhow, 15 million. Okay, that's for the guys and girls. Okay, on this channel right now, right? It's 14 and change is what it looks like, right? Okay, he wants to get okay. It's a lot larger than that, but you know, we're doing a 20% discount to a discounted cash flow model. We're doing a replacement value model. We're doing the 3 different models that we ran here. So this way, when we go to an uplist application, the SEC and, you know, FINRA and any other 3-letter agency that wants to get involved, okay, in the process of whether or not we have a valid, you know, thing on our balance sheet, they'll know, okay, for certain, okay, that we do, because this is a reputable firm with a really highly profiled guy in the confines of that industry, that at this point, okay, is saying, Chris, normally we would look at the difference between the purchase price of 5 million and the number, okay, that it's worth, discounted number that it's worth, as goodwill. Now, understand what that is. Goodwill, you keep on your balance sheet, but it's goodwill. You don't have to write it off. It's just goodwill. It doesn't really give the asset the true value that it needs. And basically what he's saying here is you just commit debauchery. You know, okay, and you know, I mean, okay, I would never say that, okay, in front of Maureen, because she's my sweetheart, okay, and my sister, okay, and that's the way we have that brother-sister relationship, okay, and but she doesn't care. I made her an offer, and I said, I'm going to pay your bills. So this way you don't have to worry about paying your bills anymore. Okay. And in exchange for that, I'm going to buy that movie. I need that movie library. Okay. And that TV library. And remember, guys, we add every month, we're adding 300 to 400 titles. Okay. So the value of that library, we're going to reassess down the road. We're not going to purchase. We are going to license those. Understand the smart angle that we're taking here. When I brought up, okay, with the accountants the other day, I said, I want to license the new titles going back from a year from now, because 2 years from today, when we now have amassed another 5,000 titles, I want to purchase it. Okay. And at that particular point, at today's price. Okay. And this way we get to put something on the balance sheet that's worth a whole lot more than what we paid, instead of buying it today and trying to get a value for it. Okay. That is, let's say, menial compared to what we will get 2 years from today. And so, going into a bank, okay, with an asset, okay, of $15 million and shareholder equity of 10, okay, and accounts receivable, allows me to go ahead and develop a commercial banking relationship. I've had some preliminary conversations. There's open-mindedness on the part. They say you're a young company, but if you could show us 2 quarters in a row of profitability, we'd be more than happy to possibly stick in something, okay, in the way, okay, of an accounts receivable financing group, okay, that is part of the bank, or for that matter, a credit facility. So what does that allow us to do? Well, okay, when you have an opportunity and you don't want to shuffle around, okay, to go try and raise some quick equity and put paperwork together and file it with the SEC and have, okay, the credit line is there to draw from. I'm not saying we're going to get it immediately, but this is a watershed event for us. Okay. It truly is. And for all our shareholders. So, okay, it allows us to do things that we normally wouldn't do. It allows us the ability to say, we're NASDAQ eligible now. Okay, I'm not going to do a 1 for 5,000, 50,000 reverse stock split now just to get on NASDAQ. You got to get on NASDAQ, okay, when you got a growth curve, when you're hockey sticking it. Because now you're going to get an audience on NASDAQ, okay, that ultimately, I mean, we all know that. I know that, okay. You've done it. You've done it with other companies. We're not going to $5, guys, okay. Okay, not with $1 billion and change outstanding, okay. I'm not worth $7.5 billion. I don't think the company will ever be worth $7.5 billion. But the goal is very much 100 million plus. Okay, so that'll give you an idea what the potential is for this company. And yes, there will be a reverse stock split down the road, but that's a year and a half, 2 years down the road. Okay, after we've gone ahead and we put together a string of successes, okay, and they're coming. And so what we're going to do, I think, okay, the strategy, I had a meeting with Sean Salchi, my NHL. He's a
I was going to ask you about that and how that's going over there.
That's going very well. Okay, I'm waiting. Okay, this is the one thing. Okay, and you're going to get old candor from me. Okay, and nothing but candor. So okay, we're moving forward with Tommy DeVito. We're putting sauce on the back end. Okay, and there's a reason for that, right? Okay. So Inventel's going to put its ass on the chopping block, let's say, for lack of a better expression. Okay, and they're going to go ahead and spend all this money on marketing, all this money, okay, on manufacturing. And they're leaving us alone. I'm bringing the player. I'm bringing the license. We're splitting the license fee up front. And at the end of the day, what we're going to do is he wants to find out, does this new manufacturing method work? Well, we're going to know, okay, in 2 weeks, it's going to work. Okay, it's been working, okay, for thousands of years. The Chinese invented this method. We're just perfecting it. So, he wants to run 2 weeks. Okay, I said, listen, if we're going to run 2 weeks, okay, to get the test results back, okay, we're running into the tail end of the season because there are only 7 games left. Are you willing to go ahead, okay, and pre-sell it? He says, Chris, give me 3 to 5 days, okay, with what you're bringing to the table, and I have it all sold. Okay, so, and he's bravado like that. He's one of those individuals. But listen, guys, okay, with Inventor, you got to understand, this guy sold $30 million worth of tooth care product, okay, with Lenny Kravitz last year. Okay, I mean, okay, and he sold 470,000 in 4 minutes on TikTok. Okay, a handful of weeks back, I watched it happen in front of my eyes, and it's a $300 million company. Yeah, but that's
crazy.
That's our marketing partner. That's our manufacturing partner, right? So he wants to be 100% confident because he doesn't want to he's going public, right? He's going public to a direct listing in probably April, May. And, we're working toward a goal of a joint venture. So this thing leads to a JV with a $300 million company that'll do all our manufacturing, all our marketing, put up all the money for all the licenses, which I won't allow them to do. Okay, because I want to put up half that money.
Dude.
Because now, okay, at that particular point, it's a true joint venture. We're bringing cash, we're bringing the player, we're bringing the license, we're bringing the NFL PA agreement, okay, that we're probably going to be meeting with in January, as well as Major League Baseball. So what does that mean for us as Authentic Heroes, the division of Authentic Heroes? What it means, point blank, is that Authentic Heroes will have a presence with NFL players. Now, will I go for an NFL license? Maybe, maybe not. This is what the NFL license gets you besides, okay, what you would, let's say, if you get an NFL license, you get NFL PA. It's combined. Major League Baseball is different. Major League Baseball, you get an MLB license, and you can get an MLB PA license separately. Why they have it separate, who knows? They have their own reasons. No reason to get involved in it. But ultimately, okay, what I'm looking at is an MLB PA license. That means you could do the stripes on a Yankee jersey, okay, whatever it may be. Okay, you could put the player's name, the number. What you can't do, okay, is put the name of the team. But most fans don't care about the name of the team, with the exception of a handful. Okay, and there's reason for that. And the reason why, okay, I say that is because Sean, okay, at this point has more experience in this arena than anybody. Okay, and including myself. I've done just a ton of licensing, but he sold 55,000 jerseys last year for his players, and none of them even had a front to it. It was just the player's name in the back, the colors of the team, the number, and it went in a man cave or a lady cave. Okay, and that's where it went. Okay, and they didn't wear it. They didn't care about wearing it. It did have a front, but it didn't have, the accoutrements that normally go there, which is the name of the team, NFL in the center of it, et cetera, et cetera. It's a progression, guys. Okay, we are going to progress. We're going to take one step at a time. The first thing that's got to happen, and the most important thing that can happen, is Tommy DeVito sells out, which it will. Okay, once we can say to somebody that Tommy DeVito, the guy who sat on the bench, who's the third string quarterback, we sold $500,000 worth of product for him, and he made 50 grand. Every player's ears will open up. Now, there's some players who are untouchable. Okay, they don't care about $500,000. They don't care about $5 million. You got players like that. Okay, especially the Giant player that got paid $40 million, who can't seem to put a win together. But I mean, so will Tommy DeVito see the field this year? If he does, we'll sell 10,000 jerseys.
Wow.
Okay, because it's a it's a strong contingency, but it's a precursor, Eric and audience, okay, for what it is we're doing in the future, right? By the time the spring's out, we'll have an agreement with, and we're going after the. So what we're going to do is we're going to do New York, okay? We're going to do, Noah, okay, on the Knicks, who's having a great season, okay? We're going to do, more than likely, okay, one of the Rangers, okay, and I think we're going to do Rempe, who's the new kid on the block that's fighting with everybody. Josh Allen, I would love to do Josh Allen.
So would I?
But
I hope you do that one. That'd be great.
Yeah. Here's the problem when you go after A-listers like that, okay? The management will come to you. Their managers will come to you and they'll say, hey, so show us what you did. And so what do I have to point to right now? I have, a failed relationship with Youngblood, okay, because the kid decided to be a snot nose, right? Okay, and but we got our cash back, okay. Otherwise, they were getting sued, and they knew that, okay. And number two, we did Brett Favre, but that was 500 jerseys. It was really just a test run, and Henzo Gracie. We did Henzo Gracie again. Yeah. Henzo, we sold 1,000 jerseys there for the schools, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. So it was just really test runs. Now Tommy DeVito, $500,000. We go after a Josh Allen, okay, or somebody like that after we've done 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The numbers to say, hey, this is what we could do.
Yeah, and, this is what we could do. What can we do for you with all those crazy Buffaloians out there?
Oh, you could do
know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Eric will probably buy 10 of them.
That's for sure.
Eric will buy out the inventory just so the stock goes up.
We'll see. Well, we'll see how I feel after the Chiefs game. Because these are the games. They've become our arch nemesis. They're like the new Patriots for us. So I've always, believe it or not, I actually have never minded the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Like there's something really, brutal about the Patriots. Obviously, we all know why, but it's becoming that, with the Chiefs, and for a long time we used to beat them up, and we could still beat them, but for some reason in the playoffs, man, things just don't go our way. But I will say, like your company, And I know I don't want to keep you all night. I've some other
No,
things I
that's
got to get
okay.
to,
I
but
told them I'm going to be 45. I bought 45 minutes because they're in there having drinks now that the music's on, right?
oh
So
yeah. See, I'm holding
I'm
him
at a
from his
friend of
fun.
mine's restaurant, okay, and they're just at this point, okay, just hanging out. Okay, so I told them, okay,
Well,
I need some time. Okay, this is a shareholder meeting, so to speak. Blah blah
yeah.
blah. And they're good. They're good.
Well, and you know
So
what I will say, like your company, you have authentic heroes, you have old as gold, you have. I mean, we can't have an episode with Chris Giordano without saying the word vast tag. You got to say the word vast tag. And by the way, I said vast tag, and my stepper is literally going up. Look at that. So I said
there you
all I
go.
did was say vast tag, and I got my step go. So this is what happens when you're Italian. You talk. I get my steps all day, guys. This is
Okay. So here,
somebody's gonna meme that into something horrible, but that's okay. That's okay.
well, right now, okay, the biggest thing that's happened with Vastags with us, okay, is the whale, what is now known as whale TV deal, right? Okay, Hisense, I'm more than, I could put it out there. I don't know if I want to put it out there, but we got a communication from Hisense, okay, just a few days ago that said, hey guys, okay, listen, we're doing a new on-ramping process, okay, and we're having some bugs in it. Okay, so we want to make certain all the apps that we upload there, it's going to be a smooth experience. Can you get back in touch with us in early January? Okay, so yeah, okay, we're very much on their radar screen. We'll get to them, okay, and they'll get to us. But Whale TV has 400 manufacturers now, as opposed to 120. They cover a spectrum of geography that is as large as Hisense now. Okay,
Wow.
so they're not a TV manufacturer, however. They just manufacture the operating system for
Yeah.
TV manufacturers. And they include, okay, Philips, okay, and Sanyo, okay, and a number of well-known brands, but there are 400 of them now. So the way it works with them is very simple. We don't have to on-ramp anything with them. All they need to do is put up a banner ad. So when you turn on a TV that's got an operating system that is powered by Whale TV, you're going to see a banner ad that says, hey, come check out our new content partner. I keep on saying days, but we really are days away. There are little things that got to, can you put the dot txt? I don't know any of this stuff. Okay, this is for the wise DVs of the world and Maureen. Okay, so when they're writing lines of code, something, there's something's missing or something like that.
Mhm.
That's what it's down to. It's down to little tidbits, and we're around the corner from going live with it. Okay, and it's for 3 months that they will advertise that banner ad to everybody that owns a TV operated on their OS. Okay, that's a huge thing. That's $100,000 a month. They're our Vastag partners, so they get 30%, we get 70%. So if somebody clicks, okay, on that and goes to a banner ad, okay, that says, hey, check out our new content, but on the first page, when you open it up, you can't buy that. Okay, it's hard because okay, to buy that, okay, you'd have to be somebody, you'd have to be ESPN or something like that. Let's get to ESPN. Okay, so tomorrow we have a meeting at 2:30. You could check these guys out. Island Broadcasting. Okay, if you Google them, they're based out of Puerto Rico, but they've also got corporate offices in New York. They have an antenna in New York on the Citicorp, on top of the Citicorp building. It is a station, okay, that covers the entire spectrum of New York, all 10 million people plus, all the boroughs.
Wow.
We have a presence in New York, but it's a small presence for 1.5 million people, okay, in Brooklyn, New York, okay, a small, low-powered station. So ESPN, in our conversations with them, said, hey, if you can get New York, okay, we're going to get New York tomorrow. I think I'll have that deal done by Friday, okay? And that will give us two things: an availability of ESPN coming on our network, okay, and it'll jump our rate card by $15 to $20 per 30-second ad. So all
Wow.
of these fundamental developments, okay, are all centered, okay, around Maybach's authentic heroes. But remember, NFTs, we are building out something known as a vending machine. Okay, and I don't know if we spoke about this at all, okay, on our last call, okay,
I
but
believe we
that's
did.
being built out. Okay, so that is happening. We're probably 20% into it already. It'll be done by the middle of January. Okay, and at that particular point, we're going to start releasing music NFTs, right? Our conversations with the NFT, basically, they basically came and said to me without saying it, you're good. Okay, you're good. You're not a security. Okay, they will never bless it, but, they gave us, okay, let's say a half-ass blessing. Okay, you know what I mean? Okay, and with that said,
We'll look
okay,
the other way,
we'll be in
boss.
the
That's
NFT
it.
business next year. Streaming,
That's
okay, we've got 22 different platforms that we're talking to that at this point want us to upload 60 songs, okay, as samples to see how they play. Okay, it's all a process, guys. Okay, it's not very little happens overnight, right? Everything is a progression. It's
Well,
kind of like a
I
math.
think you're
I'm
onto
sorry.
something too. I think you're onto something too when it comes down to once things are clicking on all cylinders, and they're already starting to. Uh, the truth is, you could really have a beautiful combination with Authentic Heroes, that division, and the NFT division with customized NFTs for a
Yeah,
specialized jersey, a limited edition. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to get the Super Bowl's quarterback jersey, but it could get to the point where you could have a specialized team. You could take a playoff quarterback. You could take any player. I mean, doesn't have to be playoff. It could
yeah.
be
Okay, so
baseball.
here's one
There's a
today.
combo
You're
platter there,
absolutely right.
Chris. There
No,
is.
you're 100% right. Okay, and am I going to go for a Tom Brady? Listen, last year Patrick Mahomes sold a jersey on an auction site for $273,000. It wasn't a playoff shirt. It wasn't a Super Bowl shirt. Just a shirt, right? Okay, and it's so
Crazy.
a man has got to know his limitations. A woman's got to know her limitations, right? Our limitations right now are limited, okay, to where we are. But that doesn't mean we can't grow there. That doesn't mean that I can't necessarily, after doing a dozen of these things, Michael Rubin at Fanatics will find out about us. Okay. He will find out about us because we will have an NFLPA license and we're going to be doing stuff that he can't do with patented technology. So do we end up, okay, in a deal with Michael Rubin? Not today. Maybe, okay, next year, maybe the year after, maybe never at all. But he will know we exist. Okay. 100%. Today, I got a call from Sean before he got to the meeting. He said, would you be interested in the Noah Brown shirt? I said, Noah Brown. Who's Noah Brown? Okay, why do I know that name? And then he said, he's the guy that caught, okay, the touchdown pass, the Hail Mary, the 65-yarder that Daniel sent, what's his name? Jaden Daniels, okay, through, right? For the Commanders, right?
Yep.
Okay, and he says, I think you can get it, okay, for $5,000. You can get a deal for $5 to $75. Get the hell out of here, that jersey. So he's working on that right now. Okay, will I do that? Okay, simultaneously, 100%, because that is a kid that walked on the field, ball landed right in his hands. He didn't drop it. That's the most important thing. It was the Hail Mary of Hail Marys, and it won. That is a moment, okay, that you can refer to, and you script it. Like if I were to send you guys, and I'm more than happy to send it to you, the script, okay, that's coming, okay, from Tommy DeVito that was scripting right now. The message when he gives his jersey to us is fabulous. It's short, it's to the point, it's heartfelt, okay, and he's the perfect guy to deliver that message. Every player that we do is going to go ahead, okay, and script something, or their people, or we will script something when they hand that jersey off to Authentic Heroes, to an Authentic Heroes representative, okay, it's going to have a story around it, all right? That's one video, okay? They need to make 2 other videos that they're going to send out to their fan base. Now, okay, after Noah caught that pass, his social media quintupled, okay?
Wow.
And he's a rookie. Right? I think it was his second year. Okay, but in either case, okay, there are one-ups. Okay, this is like getting almost like a Super Bowl jersey in a way. Okay, because okay, that doesn't happen. That was the thing. Okay, it's just like the story of this season. This is a Cinderella season for Washington, right? Okay, it truly is, and they're going to the playoffs. So is he going to catch another one? If he catches another one,
and that's the thing, what you're trying, like, all right. So, like, we in Buffalo, we sort of complain about Tyler Bass sometimes. All right. But I'm thinking about I was actually at the Dolphins game, and I'm thinking about that moment when Tyler Bass, and he's had his struggles this year, but he's not horrible, but he's had his struggles. But when he was put to task to hit a 61-yard field goal and he freaking nailed that thing, somebody could say, I want a piece of his merch because if they go to the Super Bowl this year, he could be a deciding factor. I mean, it's forward-looking sports-wise, but I mean, those are the types of opportunities that you could completely see. I mean, imagine doing a Tyler Bass jersey from that game. Huge. You don't think of Buffalo. I mean, that game was good. That was the best game of the year, in my opinion. That game,
the possibilities are truly endless.
Electric.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, it was electric.
I think you're on it. I think you're on it, and you're really getting that niche market because nobody else is doing this technique at all. You guys own the patent.
And you know what nobody else is doing? Okay, because I checked all of these streaming sites. So people stream and they stream and they stream and they stream. Okay, they stream the same song dozens and dozens of times because they like hearing it. It's part of their, their playlist, et cetera, et cetera. What nobody is doing, okay, and what we will do, okay, we already have five, okay, of the sites agreeing to it. We'll cut them in, okay, for 10%, okay, of the revenue that we generate. Is if you're listening to a song, okay, and you like a particular artist, is to offer them an NFT vinyl package, okay, and they'll let us advertise on their site. So in other words, you put up Etta James. Okay. And now, okay, you listen to an Etta James song and you're an Etta James fan right there while you're listening to it. Hey, if you like that song and you love Etta James, okay, you can actually own an NFT. And we won't put the NFT first because not everybody understands what an NFT is, right? So you put the vinyl up there first. Okay. And what we're discussing right now, okay, do we give the NFT away as part, okay, of the vinyl package, right? Okay. There's so many things that we're in a position to do. And now we're going to get evaluation done on the license, okay, with Maestro.
Yeah,
Okay.
but go back to that. Think of artist clothing, artist
Yeah, sure.
vinyl, artist NFT. And like on the face of it, when you look at the four divisions, they're like, these four things have nothing to do with each other. Wrong. I know when I first talked to you, my head, and this is going back maybe May or March or April. I'm like, I talked to you. By the way, the first time I talked to Chris, he gave me the speech. It was a 45-minute speech, and he literally broke it down. And after, my head was spinning. I'm like, what the hell is this guy talking about? As we've grown in our friendship and our business relationship, I will tell you, it's completely connected. And
yeah,
like
well, it takes a while. It takes a while to figure out what we're doing. It does, okay, because they're moving parts, right? But they're all interconnected. It's like, hopefully you'll end up being like a Swiss watch, right? Okay, where they all complement one another. Each gear, okay, is in sync with the other gear. Okay, and at the end of the day, they all complement one another. Or, okay, one gear operates by itself, right? Okay, so, I mean, okay, 100%. It's 100% mutually interdependent of each other, but at the same time, okay, complementary, okay, when it needs to be. And that platform, okay, very seldom happens. I've done literally 100 and I think it's somebody counted the other day. He did 172 deals that I know of. Okay, and that's over a long period. That's over 30 some odd years. Okay, but I've never had one. I got to be honest with you. It's not about hype. It's just about the thrill of understanding what's at my doorstep right now, and that is to create a company that listen, they're 3Ms of the world, they're Johnson & Johnsons of the world, they're huge conglomerates with different companies that do different things. I'm trying to create a company that does different things, but they're all complementary of one another. You know what I mean? Okay, and the advertising that we can do for products that we sell, okay, there's so much, okay, and oh, by the way, okay, and we may end up getting Major League Wrestling. We'll probably know inside 2 weeks. They're the fastest growing wrestling group out there. Okay, if anybody's a fan out there, okay, they are very much into this lucha libre stuff, and they have enough to do their own channel. Okay, so they have deep, and they sell out 20,000 people at a clip. They asked me if I can get them down to the Tropicana, and I said I have a great relationship with the Tropicana. Okay, if you want to get it, okay, a state. I said, we've never been in a casino before. We think we could sell. I said, there's only 3,000 seats there. That's it. So you could sell it out easily.
Nice,
they do 20
crowd. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a big, and so what they want, they're part of the deal is, can you get us a sponsor? Okay. And so Sean and I are working on DraftKings right now for Major League Wrestling. We're close. We're getting closer and closer and closer. It's a major sponsorship. Okay. It's a blanket sponsorship where everybody else goes home. Okay. And we put DraftKings everywhere, on the ring post, in the center of the ring, ads, okay, banner ads that appear during the show, et cetera, and they'll give us all their content. If I get all their content, now I got AVOD again. I got a video on demand with a VAS tag. Okay. And if you want to watch episodes, you pay. Not you pay. I keep on saying you pay, but the advertiser pays, and that wrestling draws a huge audience. Even the smaller groups draw huge audiences. Okay, for online I'm talking about, right? Okay, as well. Okay, as in live events. Okay, but so we're continuing to add channels, but most importantly, what we're going after now, Maureen and I, okay, and one other person will be going after these blanks that I had spoken about in the past. There are literally 42 cities that we've counted that have blanks that they need programming before the FCC finds out you got blank channels, okay, here's a fine. All right, so
Wow.
that's how we can increase our footprint. That's how we get to $100 rate card, $150 rate card. That's how we ultimately end up with a company that's doing 15 to 20 million a year in ad revenue, insert ad revenue, right? Okay, that doesn't include Bass Tech. So the growth curve here, guys, is great. Okay, let me take a few questions. I got 5 minutes, and I got to be back in there for 7:15.
I honestly think you covered everything. I mean, I could tell when BFC is quiet, they're like taking it in, listening. You just dropped literally a lot on us, and I know a lot of people are going to be going back and listening. I'm going to go back and listen because like you just dropped a lot of information, maybe too much information. That's a joke.
Yeah, maybe so.
That's
but
a joke.
I figure why not cover it? Okay, on this call.
Kidding.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Okay, but at the end of the day, remember,
great, Chris,
you can DM me, guys. DM me.
Get in the Discord.
Yeah,
DM him.
I'll get in. It's hard. You know what? Okay, Eric. I very seldom have a chance to even during the day because listen, we should have 5 more people. Okay, like me and Maureen. Okay, and but we don't right now. Okay, the idea is to get this stock to a point where I can take in a few $1 million and feel good about it because we're not being that dilutive by it. By taking in the money. I turned down 3 last month. Okay, because they wanted to come in and buy 2/3 of the company. I said, well, no. Okay, that's not going to happen. But in any case, okay, if anybody out there, I'm just going to throw this out there because this may be, that could be helpful to me. And I may have thrown this name.
We literally just lost. Did we just lose Chris? Chris, you're frozen. We're frozen. All right. So I know he's busy. Yeah, I know he'll be back to his meeting. Your phone froze or whatever. That's okay. Yeah, that's it. $2 rate card to $100. Holy fudge. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, that would be such a huge success for him. We did lose him, but guys, DM him. He's in our Discord too. He's very active in the AHRO room. This is the kind of transparency you want from a CEO. This guy has been freaking consistent. Everything he said he's going to do, he's done. And yes, yes, Bella, he is taking a breath. So, Chris, thank you for joining us. I know he lost connection there, but I do want to keep the show going. So, be sure to DM him. Hey, if you haven't, look in the description of this video. If you're watching on YouTube, especially, get to the Patreon, join our Discord, join the growing BFC community. And we have a nice, solid group of people in there. Some great people. And yes, Lisa, that was a lot of information. I will listen again, but I got in a little late. And yes, Manmeet Khurana, bright future ahead for AHRO, 100%. I am so bullish on the stock. And so let's keep this going. We have a couple more stocks to talk about. Let's talk about CYBL. Cha-ching. There, I did my little voice thing. My little what is cash register thing? Yeah. Let's keep going here. Now, listen. They just had recent news on October 30th. They did have recent news. Cyberlux Corporation secures additional 2.9 million Datron U.S. Central Command foreign military sales contract for key U.S. ally, adding to 12.8 million in new orders. And so they're clearly doing a lot in regards to the government contracting thing. And I'm going to talk in a second about why it's so important. And I'm going to go over the chart. I'm going to talk about why I feel the way I do about Cyberlux. And so, right now, we've had some pullback, but I'm not concerned. And this, well, I'll tell you why. I call it the Datron factor. And so right now, I mean, hell, this company was private. I mean, the valuation of this thing could be absolutely massive. It is massive. What am I talking about? The funding since inception in 2001. All right. Federal contract and grant funding since its inception, $862.8 million, almost $1 billion. This is the truth. Now, it fluctuates. You have bigger quarters than others, and this is nothing to snub. This is the acquisition that you want. These guys have $490 million Afghanistan radio contract, $9 million contracts for Africa and Central Asia, $14.5 million FMS contract, and so these numbers alone, I mean, this stock should be soaring. And right now, we're going through a correction, in my personal opinion. And a lot of us are waiting news. We're waiting more communication from the company. But I think they're being tight-lipped, and I think they're doing everything the right way. And they don't want problems. They want to succeed. They want to get the stock up. I think we're going to hear some news soon. I hope that's the case. And so this is, in my opinion, the correct acquisition for Cyberlux. Listen, they have big numbers. I mean, look at 2010, almost 160 million. Now, granted, it's tapered off, but it's starting to pick up again. And so that's the exciting thing. And these numbers are nothing to snub about. And this isn't even including the other things that Cyberlux is doing on the drone side and the landing side, whatever, everything else they have going on. But this is very indicative of a company that's growing. And so I think them being rolled into Cyberlux is massive. And I think when you connect the names of the people that are associated with Cyberlux and sitting on the board and their advisory board, not just their advisory board, but their board. If you look at a name like Bill Maderini, I'm not screwing around. He's the chief revenue officer. Clearly, he has the connections to get things done. So I think, looking up to it, they had a great second quarter. I also, let's see. 3 months ended June 30th. All right. Their revenue is 52 million. Their gross profit was 33 million. It's not going to be like that every quarter. That was just a really strong quarter. Honestly, looking at the third quarter, I'd like to see millions. As long as I see millions happening, I'm happy with that. As long as I see a decent gross profit or net profit, I will be happy as an investor. Because as a defense contractor, these things are going to vary quarter to quarter. It's not like it's not necessarily a product company where you're doing well, it sort of is in a way, but it's going to fluctuate based on the needs of the military. But if they're able to put up these numbers, if they're going to have clarification, especially on the gross profit, I think people are waiting for that. So this is absolutely exciting. And I think we're in the right. I'm just laughing at some of the comments. I won't put them on here, but it is pretty funny. It is a little bit. I like when you guys get snarky in the comments section. This is a free speech zone, by the way. You could say whatever the hell you want. I don't care. So, despite what people think, some people think I have a great sense of humor, and so I like, I'm not modest, that's for sure, but I do have I do have a big sense of humor. So, what am I looking to see? What I'm looking forward in quarter three? I just want to see some positive numbers. Give me 7 million. Give me 8 million. Give me something. All right. Show me some profit. Show me that. I want to see what the forecasts are for quarter four. All right. Because I think this could be the DoD play of the OTC for quarter one to 2025 and beyond. Right now, I feel very comfortable. Let's talk a little bit about the chart. Now, listen. Okay. This is the 3-month chart. All right. We were in CE hell for a long time. You don't believe me? Ask Dwayne. He'll tell you. Oh, now look at him. He's back. He's back. Dwayne, good guy. Good guy. But look, we are in purgatory hell. Canadian traders and people in the United States that took advantage of Speed Trader loaded up on this thing. And so right now, here we are, and we're consolidating in the 1 cent range. Now, we've had some bloody days as of recent, but I want you guys to think of the bigger picture. I did take a little profit up here from my Speed Trader account. I did plan on doing that. I'm sticking to script. With the way I'm going with this, back 2 years ago, I planned on carrying 500,000 shares long term. I plan on being closer to 1 million long term now, just because of the developments in what they've done. And so I was able to leverage a little bit the Speed Trader opportunity. And so that's why I took advantage of that, because now not only can I play the trade, I can invest long term too. And my Schwab shares are definitely long term. I haven't sold one of those, and I'm not going to, not anytime soon. And so the upside of this is like freaking massive. We're talking about a company with major connections. I'm excited. Can you tell? This one has me excited, even though it's been beaten to hell over the last couple of days. But I want you to remember where we're at. Look at this line. Look at where we're at. Look, going back, and this was my mark. This was my mark 2 years ago in 2022. I'm not screwing with it. I didn't switch it. That's where I'm at. I was off My consolidation now, I like 105. I think I had it marked at 0098. I should have just pulled up the damn chart instead of doing the screenshot. But listen, guys, the truth is that when you look at this, look, we had some downtrend here, came back, and then it had this beautiful consolidation. If you think this thing stays dead for so long with only Canadian traders and speed traders, guess what? You don't think this is going to have some of this, some up and down? It's going to have to do that. It needs the trade. It has the bears spreading news. It has the pumpers pumping. I don't know. Maybe I'm one of those pumper people now. I don't know. But I love the stock, so I'll pump away. I don't give a shit. The truth is, I like the stock. I think it has a long way to run, especially if they're putting up the numbers that they are. And hey, the profit margins are freaking huge. And so, unless I see, listen, if we could survive the CE, I think I'm willing to wait to see what the company really brings to fruition. I want to see the quarter three. I want to see what they're indicating for quarter four. I think that has a lot to do with it. I want to hear from Mark. A nice shareholder letter would be great. But look, here we were, and this thing was pretty damn active, but this is consolidation. When you zoom out, look at it. Boom. Consolidated there beautifully. That's a load zone right there, man. That is a load zone and a half. Because in hindsight, you could try and get it to the third decimal. It doesn't matter at that point, because if you're talking about a company that's going to be as big as they say they're going to be, you're talking multiple 100% movement. So I'm not concerned about it. Right now, yeah. Is this nice to see? When we just come out, well, we have some consolidation to do. We may take a hard dip. I think we're going to bounce back hard. People have been gobbling up a lot of shares, especially the CYBL diehards. And I'll tell you right now, I think we're going to continue to see a consolidation in this 1 cent range. We may even see a continuation north if we start seeing some communication from the company. And so that to me is very important. I want them to be consistent. I don't want them to put out fluff tweets. I want them to just give us the goods, give us the numbers, get the contracts. Hey, it'd be great to hear about buybacks. They did mention buybacks. It's a little high for buyback, and I'd like to see them use the money for the company, but they did promise shareholders that the buyback was on the table. And he mentioned that on the show when he was on here a couple of years ago. By the way, Mark, if you ever want to come on the show, he probably won't. He's worried about doing bigger things. He'll be on Fox News or CNN or some of the bigger news networks, but there's always an open door if you ever want to do an open Q&A. So I like Mark. I think that it was smart of him. And even though we were getting driven nuts and a lot of people were losing their minds, I think it was smart for him to be quiet and just let the process run its course. And I think it's the correct way he did things. And, you could leave the OTC for 2 years and you could come back and there'll always be some idiot running his mouth. We know that. But hey, things could change. You never know. But yes, I am bullish on this one. I think it's in the load zone. I know this is not financial advice, but I do like where it is. I think we're going to get some really good news and I'm pretty excited about that. Let's go down to our next order of business. All right. So I want to give a shout out to Sfwj. Michael was a trader in our community. Some of you know this, some of you don't. He was a supporter of the BFC. He was in the BFC Discord. He was a good friend of mine. We got to know each other over the last couple of years. And unfortunately, he passed away. I just found out a couple weeks ago, but it happened this summer. I know he was known for taking a couple breaks from social media from time to time, but I wanted to say that he was a good friend. We had some great conversations, and you'll be missed in the BFC Discord, and I'll miss our conversations. And he would have been damn happy about the CE removal. I mean, we talked about that often, but this cheers is for you, Mike. All right, so for those of you guys that don't know that, I'm sorry to bring out the news, but I wanted to share that with our community here tonight. Okay. I know Wayne and a couple of you want me to cover IGPK, so I have a couple others I'd like to cover, and let's talk about IGPK. All right, and so I'm just going to cover what they've recently put out. JFH, Digital E-Commerce Company. Greetings, IGPK shareholders. See, these things drive me nuts. Just put the S at the end of that. And somebody's going to say, well, it's a translation. I know, but still. That's all right. I make boo-boos all the time. It's okay. Greeting IGPK shareholders. We are busy building the company and will be filing the financials in a couple of weeks. We believe everyone will be excited to read the reports and see our continued growth in China and the public market. more great things to come. Wow, they're really becoming OTC. I love it. More great things to come soon, to be continued. Working behind the scenes. I could go all day. Update: the reason for picking the United States, and this was mentioned in September. I think it's worth noting because people were asking why the United States, and it was mentioned on the show. The reason for picking the United States as our first international destination is that the United States is the most mature capital market, the most globalized capital market in the world. And of course, our business is currently in China, but we intend to develop internationally. This is why we picked the most mature, they call this mature. Little do they know. No, I'm just kidding. This is why we picked the most mature, most globalized market to begin with. And it is our belief that through our listing in the United States, we will attract more international investors, which we will benefit. And it is our spirit and goal to benefit as many global investors as possible. And this is our objective as a business. All right, let's see. Well, what are we waiting on here? And I'm not picking on Igpk, by the way. We're waiting on Q3 financials, the name change, and the audit. I think Q3 financials and the audit is more apt to come to fruition. The name change, I put those laughing emojis there just because, how many companies with like literally nothing going on cannot freaking get a name change done? Now, I could be totally wrong here. I've been wrong before. I'll admit when I'm wrong. That's fine. But I will say good luck with that because I don't think the name change is going to happen this year. And that doesn't mean I'm bullish on the stock at all, or bullish or bearish. That doesn't mean that. It just means I don't really think it's that big of a deal right now. They have changed the name on the state of Nevada, but that has nothing to do with the actual ticker change. So how do I feel about it? Well, in all honesty, and I'll cover it because we've covered it before, but I'm already out of my position for Igpk. Now, this is not me telling you it's bad or it's good or whatever. This is why, is because the BFC was at 0007. Look at this run. And so lots of us made a good couple dollars on this. Now we're sort of looking at the long-term game. And that's why I wanted to zoom out and sort of look at this chart, just because, look at this thing. This was just boom down here, trip 4 at one point. Then we had that reverse merger announcement. Then we got all excited. I remember Super Robot put out that beautiful stock video. It was really well done. Really well done. Did a great job with it. But here we are, and I like it at 4. I do. So, but just zooming out, I mean, we had it down here. There was tons of opportunity to take money. And so right now as this thing consolidates and as we wait for name change and, the Q3, as we wait for the audit, I'm putting my money into some other stocks, obviously, where I think it's going to be more active. And I do think there's time for me to get back in this one. Let me know. Are you consolidating? Are you adding? Have you taken profit? If you were part of the BFC 0007, let me know in the comments. Let me know. Have you taken your profit? Are you doing better taking your profit at stocks? I'm 50-50. There's sometimes I need to just be more aggressive with my sells, but I'm getting much, much better. Actually, I've had a very, very good year. Not to just boast about my portfolio, but I have one up 30K this year. Honestly, it's good, and I think that I could break the 50K mark by the end of the year, and for me that'll be good. And I want to double that and double that every single year. So we've had some great wins, and you have some duds too. I mean, that's just nature of the beast. Kraz, will you do another interview soon? Probably not. The reason why is because just with the errors in communication and the translators, and we really tried our best for those 2 interviews. We actually got a lot of information. I'm not complaining about I'm glad we were able to interview him. I'm glad we were able to do live due diligence. I do think that eventually we need to hear directly from the company. We need to hear like an open shareholder meeting. Good luck with that in China. I mean, like I asked him, I go, would you come to the United States? I go, if he does this whole e-commerce thing, I think eventually he would have to or want to travel to the United States, especially in regards to funding and stuff and expanding. And I think that the one thing, China does want a footprint in the American markets. Now, is that going to change because of the election? It could. Whether or not it's going to, I don't know. I can't predict these things, but they are our competitor. And so we have the whole America First agenda. Trump may be like, yeah, we're gonna try and cap off Chinese companies. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So I'm excited by it, but more specific, I want to talk about where I think it clearly has here. All right, this is the 3-month, 1 day, really good support at 4. It looks like. So I'm gonna try and get 4s when I get back in. If it's still trading in this area, the consolidation. You look for that flagging. You look for the consolidation that's waiting for news for the next leg of the tour, and that's what I'm waiting for here. So this trade has been, this investment, this trade, I mean, has been great for me. Been great for a lot of the BFC community. Let's take a look in the chat. Took some profit, added more sub 3. By the way, John Don, dude, he's in the Discord. You are absolutely crushing it. His buy-ins are really, really good, and he's up big. Just take your profit, bro. No, but no, he's great. We've actually called a lot of great plays. It's just getting in and out of them. Sometimes I'll be honest with you, at the BFC here, I really try to go for those medium to long holds. I love the mediums. I love the swings. And sometimes, you have people that are giving you really clear information. A lot of times you think you're getting clear information, and then just the company ends up, just feeding you a line of shit. And that's just the truth. And so we do what we can. We ask the questions that we can. We can't control the response that we get. I mean, they're going to give us a response, and we have to gauge, all right, how's their sentiment? Are they being honest with us? Is their plan viable? Are they going to be profitable? And you have a company, I'll use Chris Giordano as an example. Dude, you have a question, he'll answer it. He's in our Discord. Boom, he'll answer. He'll give you the information. Everything that guy said he was going to do, he's done. When it doesn't go through all the way, he's honest about it. And so that's the whole game. It's just like seeing what's authentic, getting that buy-in right before everything starts to get crazy and catalysts start dropping. There is a pattern to this, guys. It's just about finding that pattern, staying within, I don't want to say comfort zone. You're not going to be successful just sitting in your comfort zone. You need to challenge yourself. I try to challenge myself, to put more sells in, to get more aggressive buys. That's just things we learn as a trader. And I think that's important. So one thing that I'm learning too is to be more patient. Like I was talking about Bitcoin earlier. I'm buying Bitcoin right now after it's up as much as it is. If it pulls back, you want to wait for those consolidation. You want to wait to see how the industry is going to treat that specific business. So, I look at Igpk, and, e-commerce is a huge thing. So right now it's a waiting game. We're waiting on quarter 3s. I think they're going to be very similar to quarter 2s and quarter 1s. Really, 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 really good numbers. Nothing to be snubbed at. And by the way, he says, let's see. Quarter 3 revs and forward guidance will send it. I think it could. Why not? If it's consistent, why the heck not? Show us, just communicate with us. That's the most important thing. Chinese investors will help send it up. They very well could. Yeah. Overall, I'm still bullish on it. It's just a matter of now for me being out of my position because I had that nice average, and a lot of you were with me. Now we say, all right, where's the next safest zone? Just like what I was talking about with CYBL. And that's why I pulled up where I marked it 2 years ago. And now here we are again. So am I going to let this red zone get the better of me? Hell no. I'm going to stick to my plan. If I lose, I lose. That's it. But I'm not going to pop up and down. I like it. I don't like it. I sold it. I'm not going to cover. I'm going to cover. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, I'm out of the stock. I'm covering it for you guys. I'm sharing how I feel for you. If I cover something, that's how I'm going to be most of the time. Unless I really hate the stock and got burned on it. No, I'm just kidding with you. Insert dig to OTC company there. No, I'm not a basher. I'm not here to bash people. I'm here to try and find some good medium trades, good long-term trades, and hey, even some quick Haruskis. But yes, John Don, as a BFC group, we try to hash out the BS. We really do. And does some of it leak through? It does. It's always going to happen in the OTC. You vet as properly as possible. You get burned on some things, and that'll happen. And I'm honest with that. I've always been 100% transparent with you guys. Let's go on and let's talk. Okay. ASNS and Qind deal didn't go through. Do they have a backup plan? Are they ready to go? Are they ready to finally do something? All eyes are on the Drcr, by the way. The Drcr SGN, all eyes are on Nick Link and James Gibbons. I want to see that thing succeed. All of the Ilus shareholders, all eyes are on Qind and SML right now. Because I'll tell you right now, let's get this thing going. I do think that they have a plan B. They've been very quiet. They need to now put up. Nick Link, JP, are you guys going to put up? I'm still betting on you. All right. I'm still investing. I bought my first big chunk of Qind at 2.7 cents. And I didn't buy it when it was WSFT. I didn't. I was actually camping when it went through. I just didn't have service. I couldn't trade. I was like, all right, whatever. I missed it. It bounced back and forth. 28 went up, 50 back and forth. There were tons of trading opportunities for WSFT. They got the name change done. Qind, very nicely done. And people forget, that they were successful at that. Right now, the stock has been beaten up. So now I looked at it and we were talking about it. I'm like, man, I really like it in 2s, 3s. I'll take it. With the share structure, with them trying to uplist and do potentially a really nice share exchange agreement, I will take 2.7. Great, Mark. Knock on wood. I'm green on it. I know some of you are not green. I know some of you are like, screw you. Good for you. I'm not. I'm waiting for these guys to get the damn deal done and, make us green again. Make Ilus and Qind and SML green again. But seriously, so that's why I was very patient with the buy-in for that. SAML, I'm down on SAML. My average is 1.7 cents or something. I don't know what the hell it is. I don't want to fib. I'll look right now. What is my average on SAML? What is my average on SAML? I wanted to share with you guys just because why the hell not? 157. Okay, that's right, because I did buy more shares. So my average is 157. Not a horrible average for the share structure and what they plan on doing with it and all the assets that they have rolled into it. By the way, upon uplist, they do have 2 acquisitions lined up. One for Qind, one for SML. That's what they said. So I think the valuations are going to be really high, and I think they're going to factor that in when negotiating these deals with the companies that they're going to roll up into. So we want to hear news on this. Right now, it was at 008. All right, 008. And to me, if I could, I would just keep loading into it. But you know what? I'm sticking to my plan. I do have 1 million shares of SAML, and I have 250,000 shares of Qind. So if they have a really healthy share exchange agreement, if they are able to do get an uplist done, the chances of increased value, and just upon the announcement, I do think Qind could see 30 to 40 cents, just like it was naturally in those ranges, when there was more volume and there was more excitement. Now, if they actually put up the deal and get the deal done, I think you're going to see an influx of volume because people aren't going to want to miss out. And what's sort of like what Drcr is doing, Drcr is the play. SGN's the thing that's going to split. And like their share structure is nice and tight. Hell, Drcr has a great share structure. I know you guys are going to talk, the preferred convertibles and yada, yada. Listen, he did not. I'm sure he's negotiating well because he didn't build up the company and not dilute the stock that I held just to trash it at the very end on the verge of an uplist. That's just, to me, that's common sense. Are there scumbags out there that would probably do something stupid? I don't know. Maybe, but, Drcr is legit. I think that is an indicator of how Ilus is going to do. Don't forget, Ilus has 10 million shares of that. So they're looking for a good exchange agreement. So same thing for Qind, SAML. If they uplist with a great company, if they have a really tight share structure or they do a split beforehand, they're going to roll those shares into a really solid share exchange agreement. So, and I do think that they're looking out for the best interests of the shareholders. I am excited, and I hope that we have news like this week or next week with Qind and SAML. What Chuck says. Not sure why SPCI JFHE has not been featured on the BFC. Look into the contracts. 1 billion proposed. Yeah, sure. I would entertain that. Why the hell not? But by the way, I'm gonna give a shout out to you guys. Great conversations tonight, and it's been great doing this. It's been 3 weeks, and it's having Chris on and having George, Chuck, John, Don, Bella, Lisa. The crew is all here. I love it. I love it. I said I would talk about some duds. Adam Thomas, what the hell are you doing? I have talked to him over the last couple months, and and he told me right out, and I'm gonna relay this to you guys. I go, whether it's good news or whether it's bad news, just come on the show and lay it out. Lay it out. I've tried the product. Now, I never invested in this one. I never bought GRPS. I've waited for a couple things. Now, Bella was laughing at me earlier. She's like, well, you ate the shrimp. I get it. We did a product review. I thought the product was great. But, you want to talk about the viability of the production down there, the facility. Can it get funding? Clearly, they are having issues. 2 things I was waiting for. I think it was 2 things. The first thing was I wanted to see a press release with the actual name of the big grocery chain that they sold their shrimp to. That didn't happen. Okay. For me, that was like, all right, well, they couldn't release that name in a PR. That sort of sucks. Yeah. Shrimpy. There he is. Bella. And so to me, that was very, very frustrating. And so second to me, I wanted to see more in regards to where they were at with funding and expanding the operation. I wanted to hear about the second harvest. And we heard about that first harvest. We saw nothing. And he was really good about putting video. He's been a great guest. And this is not me ribbing on Adam. I'm just saying, like, from an investment standpoint, it's definitely disappointing, and I didn't even invest, but like, I know some of you have, and you're waiting. It's down low enough. I mean, I guess now maybe I'll make an entry, but yeah, no. So you look for those things, but I wanted to see an update on the second harvest. We never got that. So it is what it is. And, that's disappointing. So what can you do? But yeah, I mean, so that was one of the big duds, and we've had a couple. I'm not going to go in and gripe every company, but the truth is, I wish things went better for this one, because I do believe that their facility down there, and actually, if you don't follow John Don, he was a little bearish on the idea, just because of the susceptibility of the shrimp to be harmed by storms and just natural diseases. He actually laid out a pretty good case. Now, I still want Adam Thomas and Transamerican Aquaculture to succeed. I do. I'm not saying I'm going to be following this. I'm still going to be following the stock. It's not on my personal watch list now, but I plan on having Adam Thomas on the show so that way he could talk to you guys, the shareholders, the retail. And so, Adam's a great guy. He's a Buffalo guy. But the truth is like sometimes the funding in the OTC is horrible. Sometimes you're waiting. I mean, the amount of money you put in to keep your ticker up to date, and if you're not having a turnaround of decent revenue, then it becomes a problem. So we're going to see what happens. It is a story to be continued. It really is. So I don't know. That's all I got. How you guys doing? This was good. 3 weeks without a show. Shame on me. No, things have been crazy busy over the last 3 weeks, so I needed some time, and just got to do stuff. You got to keep busy, when you're doing work, kids. That's life, right? You just got to hustle. But now that's why things got really bogged down at work, busy at work. So that's why I've been MIA for the last 3 weeks. But we have some guests line up for next week and the week after, and we're going to finish 2024 strong. It has been the year of the BFC. We've made so much progress, not just as traders, but as people that want to do firsthand due diligence. We've had some great guests. I plan on doing some fun stuff, over the next couple months. We have great things planned for 2025, by the way. And yes, we are excited about our BFC get together in Atlantic City. If you want to check it out, reach out to me and I'll get you the information as soon as that date is confirmed or reconfirmed. Some of us I already know will be going. We had about 10 of us that were going to get down there, but I'd love to meet some of you in person, and just not the eyeless bears. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care if you're an eyeless bear. Whatever. It's all good. But it's going to be nice to really sit down and talk with you guys and break some bread and have some drinks and just the truth is I like building this community, and I'm very thankful for all my supporters out there that have been really helpful. And I want to say thank you guys. Seriously, thank you so much. This has been fun. I'll always do it. Sailing Fanatic. Yeah, man. Yeah, Lisa's from Louisiana. It'll be colder in February. Yeah, it will be. And I say, Chuck, I agree. And I hope you guys have a great night. And when I say this, I mean it. There is more that binds us than breaks us, guys. Peace out. Enjoy this one.